What's up, guys? I just finished a yoga class at the Canggu studio. I'm about to go back to my place, but when I get back, I've got some stuff on my mind I want to get off, so get ready, sit tight. We got a good one today. Love the place I'm staying at right now. It's a pretty basic room, but it's got these nice double doors, little closet, workstation where the magic happens. I walk out here, I've got this little porch area over here. Not bad, right? Alright, I'm gonna shower and get dressed, and then let's get to it. Alright, freshly showered, hair is a bit more under control now, smell a bit better, so alright. Damn. So, I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind a lot recently. I FaceTimed a friend the other day, and I even heard him speak about it, so I took that as a sign from the universe that it was time for me to speak on this. And the thing that has been on my mind a lot recently is a paycheck, a stinking bi-weekly middle-class salary paycheck. You may ask yourself, why do I have such an issue with getting paid recently? And I'll tell you why. It's because that paycheck has been taking a lot of my mental energy recently and a lot of my time. So I'm going to break this down into two scenarios to try to explain it. My own scenario and then my friends. Like I said, my issue is how much energy, mentally and physically, that my job has been taking from me recently. It's not just the nightly time commitment I have to put in, because as I've told y'all, I work switched hours, but the time that my job takes when I'm actually off the clock and out there trying to enjoy Bali. I was working out this morning, and that's usually a very stress relieving activity for me. You know, that usually clears my mind, leaves me with a clean slate and a great start to the day. But today I walked out of the building and literally had anxiety and was thinking about work later tonight, literally hours away. But yet I found myself already stressing about that. I usually don't get that anxious about sales, but it's been a noticeable difference recently. And here's why I think that is. So at the beginning of this year, my company offered a bonus to anybody who hit their quota, hit the right number of sales they wanted for 3 months in a row. And of course, that was when I was about to start traveling, so I knew that was going to be difficult. But I said, hey, you know, who wouldn't want the bonus? So I put in the time and the work the past 3 months. I stayed up late. I even pulled a couple all-nighters. I made the calls. I stayed consistent. And I had a good balance between my social life here in Bali and my work life at night on my computer. I hit all my sales, all the ones I was supposed to. And my bonus was supposed to come through last week, but it didn't. So obviously I was a little concerned. So I went to check on that. So it turns out I hit all the sales I needed and that they expected, but my total revenue was just barely short. And I'm not exaggerating. It was small enough to where it was basically a technicality at that point. And I was shocked. I mean, and upset. You know, the past 3 months, all that work, effort, time, and energy I put in, just nothing, you know, for nothing. I felt like I wasn't valued, like my effort wasn't respected, and overall I felt less confident in myself. I started thinking about this during work and even after work, and that's where I am drawing the line. A paycheck is great, that security of knowing that money is coming in, because it's what money can do for you, not the money itself. Every 2 weeks or so I get that paycheck and I know that I'm gonna have rent money, food money, and social budget money. But when it starts to mess with my happiness and my free time, then it's not worth it. Ultimately, the trade here is your free time and your happiness for the money. That is the contract that you sign when you take on a 9-to-5 job. But ultimately, especially for me who's fully remote, the person who is giving me my paycheck and giving me my orders and controlling so much of my life is just a face on the screen. You know, for my job and a lot of jobs out there, the companies don't really care about what you want to do with your life, what your passions are, or really you as a person. That's a harsh reality. They just want you to hit your numbers and be a productive member of their team. So going forward, I'm going to make sure that I am not giving my job more energy than I need to be giving it. or at least to a point to where it's taking up my mental energy outside of my hours, because that's not fair to me and that's not how I want to live my life. Because free time and my mental energy is more important than my paycheck. And if I have to quit, then maybe that'll be the next video, yeah? So, my friend's situation, let's cut over to him. He actually FaceTimed me with some good news. He FaceTimed me and told me that this summer he was planning a trip over to the Middle East where he was actually going to start an international journey. I was pumped for him. I knew he was thinking about it for a while, and to see that he was actually taking the steps to do it really got me fired up. But as he talked to me and started going into the logistics more of it, I could see it on his face. He was very worried about the financial side of it. He was worried about his job and his paycheck. The job he currently had was not fully remote, so he needed to ask them if he could switch to fully remote, but he didn't know what they were going to say. And as he was talking to me, making his plans, we were talking about maybe potentially meeting up, but he was already cutting it short because he thought he might not have that stable paycheck. So before he even started traveling, this paycheck was restricting him from potentially going to see the world, finding his best self, and following his passions. That was really eye-opening to me with what's been going on with my job, and then actually hearing somebody else talk about it. That's the type of mental and physical energy a paycheck can take from you. He wasn't making a ton of money. So again, this middle-class salary paycheck was about to prevent him from possibly going on the trip of a lifetime. And just hearing him say that to my face was just another slap of reality for me. Why do we put ourselves through that torture of anxiety and a lack of freedom just for that false comfort every 2 weeks or every month of getting paid? That doesn't define us as who we are or how we feel. The money is just a number. The journey I've been on here in Bali has been great, and I wish it for all of my friends and family. And here my friend is about to maybe go on a journey, but already letting that paycheck get in the way of him potentially going. And look, I get it, like money is important. Life is not free. And that's the way we all have been raised to think since we were young. That's literally why we went to school, was to learn how to get a job and go into society and be a productive member of the economy. But what I'm learning here is that my time and my happiness is exponentially, invaluably more important than a paycheck. It has taken a long time to get to this place and a long time here for me to work on myself and realize this. But I feel like I'm in a place where I can recognize that money is awesome. What it has been able to do for me to get me over here and sustain my life over here is great. But when it starts to mess with my happiness and my freedom and my mental energy, then it's not worth it. The Balinese people here on this island and in Indonesia in general are living examples of this. There's not a lot of money over here, and a lot of them have very small paychecks, a fraction of what I'm used to over in the United States. Yet they are the happiest people I've ever met. They put a smile on my face every day, always greeted with a wave, and they are just always seemingly very content and happy to be here on this island and with their life. In the United States, I literally went to school for years. I paid for an education in college just to learn about how important a paycheck was. And now that I'm over here, I realize that that is not what I wanted to learn or what I think people should be learning. So there's a quote I want to share with you. There's this book I read every morning. It's a quote book. It's got quotes from famous people in here talking about either success, life, happiness, and I've really enjoyed it. So this quote is by Muhammad Ali. "The man who views the world at age 50 the same as he did at age 20 has wasted 30 years of his life." I love this quote, and it really hit me hard the other day because it made me think of how much I have changed. Let me read that again. "The man who views the world at age 50 the same as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life." Whether it's a job or a relationship or your friends, sometimes you have to make changes that might not be comfortable, but ultimately it's going to be the best move for you. So maybe this paycheck for me, for my friend, or for you watching, maybe that's the change you need to make. If you're not happy or you find it taking too much of your mental energy, maybe it's time to make a change. So don't let your paycheck dictate all your decisions, because if you do, it will be very hard to change the way you think and ultimately the way you live your life and your happiness. All right, guys, I think that's it for me today. I appreciate you guys listening and watching. If you made it this far, I would highly recommend taking some time to think about your job, why you're doing it, how much energy it's taking from you, and maybe seeing if you need to adjust that going forward. I'm probably gonna go eat a lot of sushi until I pass out for a brief nap. Look at this. It is a beautiful day outside, so I want to make sure I go and enjoy that. All right, guys, much love. I just want what's best for my friends, family, and the alt degree family. So love y'all and see you on the next one.